All right, what's this? Well, before I left for Detroit, I picked this up in Indy. And Supremes, I hear a Symphony. What caught my eye was the sleeve. So, I've got tons of Supremes. This was a pretty big hit. For $3, I'm picking this up anywhere, anytime, any place. And I don't know, but I had never seen one of these early Motown sleeves. I don't know if it's a reproduction or an original, but I'm like, I have to buy it just for the sleeve. Now, sometimes someone will take a modern record or a newer record and put it in an old sleeve, but look at that. It's got the 87 on the corner. Any info that my Motown freaks can give me on this, especially you guys over in Europe, you seem to know it better than anybody. On the sleeve itself would be greatly appreciated. Did it go with this 45? I don't think so. Is it original? Is it a reproduction? I don't know, but it really, really is cool. And I think could be one of the original sleeves, which may be more valuable than the actual record. More on this. We're going to Detroit. We're going to check out Third Man Records, and we're going to check out Motown Museum. All right, Detroit, here we come. All right, on the way to Detroit. Here we go. All right, it's a beautiful day in Detroit, but we're not going to let the weather stop us. We got a full palette of things to do. We're going to hit Third Man Records. We're going to tour Motown, and we're going to go to the 71st floor of the Rensen, General Motors headquarters. All right, here we are, Third Man Records. We got the 3 o'clock tour. We got to have the closed toe boots, and we're going to go right in here right now, and we're going to check it out. We are at the vault, and the ladies up front said I could film a little video, and I got some exclusive stuff here that they're pulling out of the vault box. And how cool is this? You know, Jack White, he doesn't mess around, and we love this stuff. Look at that. Okay. Ooh, I got this when he sent that out with the vault package. That was about last year or something, a year and a half ago.
Yep.
Dead Weather. I don't think I have that one. Okay, Captain Beefheart. Now, is did that go out on the website or no?
Nope, not all of these were 7 inches in vault packages.
Oh, okay.
Previous ones, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they might be hard to get because I haven't seen that.
Right. It's possible that there might be some on like the vault specific store.
Okay.
They add stuff on there sometimes, but I'm pretty sure all of these were pulled from, extras, things like that.
So I would get 10% off the $20 since I'm a vault member. You'd have to look my number up and everything.
No, yeah, I'm hesitating because you don't get your discount on color vinyl, but we
Okay.
can do it on these.
Okay.
Since they're not technically color.
Okay, well, now what's this? It's interesting. It actually says from the vault. That's also the Dead Weather. So we got locked into them.
How's it going?
Eddie Vedder. That was one of those record your own voice ones. That's cool.
Hi. All right, what's your name?
Wayne,
All right. These tickets prove you checked in.
Probably gonna take those 4. Let me see what you got over here.
I saw the 45 rack when I first walked in, so I'm taking a beeline to it now.
This is just totally cool. Nick and the Jaguars, the Swinging Tigers, the Miracles. That would be like Smokey. So we're definitely getting that.
A lot of these I have
Strong.
already.
This is the old Tamla label. Oh, this is really, really cool. You get Conan, you get George
Especially
King.
in this section here,
$100.
these are available online. So I don't want to waste a lot of time digging through these on a micro level.
Trust that Third Man Pressing. Yeah, I know.
Packaging the artwork on these
Really,
modern
really cool.
songs, these modern 45s, is unmatched.
Ashton. Those are guys from the Iggy's band, the Stooges. Some of this stuff is online.
Once again, a lot of these are available online, and I can take my time and I can digest every potential purchase before I plunk down my hard-earned money. So I'll go online after this trip and really break down these. Now, these Third Man live recordings, I really didn't appreciate them until after I took the tour.
Variants.
More on that later.
That's pretty cool. I think I just ordered that one. Third Man Live, Kenny Moby. Roselle's. Whirlwind Heat.
Whirlwind
Saw them
Heat.
live. They warmed up.
Saw them warm up for the White Stripes back in 03 at Aragon in Chicago.
What was that? $10. Okay. They were supposed to be some good underground band. I think I can get that online. I don't feel that any of this I can't get online. Greg Brown band. All right, very cool. Shop is awesome. I mean, this is
All right, time to move on to another section. I've already lost track of time. I'm totally locked in. The color in the merchandise is second to none. I told Johnny I'd pick him up a shirt, so I better not come home empty-handed. And I'm due for a second Third Man shirt, by the way, since my buddy Kev picked me up my first one, like on the right. He came down here a few years back. Oh, more 45s.
Stuff. All these different variations. Very cool. And I got a lot of these already.
Most of the stuff I've got already.
Licorice. I got a lot of this stuff in my collection.
If you're a 45 collector,
Eclipse, right?
you could just
I think I
basically
have that.
spend hours in here just looking at 45s, which is really, really cool. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Earl Peterson, Johnny Powers. These are all these Sun Records repressings. There's the Elvis, Roy Orbison, Carl Perkins, D.A. Hunt, the Prisonaires. There's Roy Orbison right there. Of course, Elvis and D.A. Hunt, Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash. All very, very cool.
Here we are, Third Man Records. And in case you didn't know, this is the showroom. And we're going to get ready to tour where they stamp the records here in a couple minutes. So look at that. That's a kick-ass poster all the way from Detroit, Michigan.
This is like vinyl record heaven. And I'm already getting 45 RPM overload. But I'm skimming through these just in case something pops out at me.
Got that one.
What was that?
And Rope,
I'm coming back to Pokey.
Frank Bear.
Oh, yeah, Pokey Lafarge. Did I not tell you about him? Anyways, a lot of these are available online.
This guy's freaking awesome.
There's Pokey.
Lafarge.
I can go back later and look at this stuff. The stage is blue, So there's a different color scheme for everything. Yellow and white and black for the store. The stage is blue. And there's the yellow and black cool frilled cowboy shirt. The visuals on the store is incredible. The lighting, the color, and the use of decorative elements and iconography is really, really cool. My dad was an art student at Wayne University out of Detroit, and he would be all over this. Here's the use of color in the original White Stripes guitar and amplifier set, which is just there off to the side. We're getting ready for the tour. She's announcing it, and she's actually started it. So I'm going to let you listen in just to a little bit. And once we get behind these doors, I can't film anymore.
Beginning to end. And it really will help us understand a little bit more of what we're seeing once we're inside as well. So at the end, opposite myself, you're going to see a lacquer.
And understanding how records was made, definitely. We're in the actual lathe cutting room / control room studio now at the end of the tour where I can film again. And this room is pretty much soundproofed and full of retro analog gear. I think this is the first time I've ever been in such a studio environment, and it is totally cool. Once again, the decorating is cool. The equipment is retro because you have to have retro equipment to do this kind of work in analog fashion. I learned a lot. I learned the difference between a mix and a master, and I learned what a puck was. So you got to take the tour to get that little bit of information.
Look at that, a free record at the end of the tour. Everybody got one. How cool is that? Thumbs up for Third Man.
Awesome. Well, is there
All right, I grabbed my bag full of merch, full of Third Town 45s and T-shirts, and just a quick stop at Shinola, and we're heading over to the Motown Museum because we have a 5 o'clock tour there. All right, we're down on West Grand Boulevard, renamed for Berry Gordy Jr., and we're right out in front of the Motown Museum. It looks like a normal neighborhood until you turn around and see this famous, very modest house, renamed Hitsville, USA by Berry Gordy. And looking at it, you think, oh my gosh, how did all this great music come out of this simple home? Well, as we go inside and read and learn, you will just be blown away by the innovation, the improvisation, the talent at gathering and assembling great artists into a unique sound that swept the world, literally, with the great Motown sound, beat, and soul. You will understand the incredible history of Motown. Shop around, baby love, where did our love go? How sweet it is to be loved by you. Jesus is just all right. Heat wave, my girl, it takes two. I'll be there. ABC. On and on. Where did our love go? How sweet it is. My chérie amour. All came out of this house. This incredible, modest little house on West Grand. Soon to be expanded in 2025 into a huge facility that involves performance, audio, visual, everything a huge world-class museum can be. Berry Gordy started it all, and there he is with Michael Jackson. Now we're inside the museum, and there's that sleeve I was talking about. I've had to assemble a montage of labels and different videos of the labels that I saw on the wall. But pay attention to those sleeves, that Tamla sleeve that we saw at Third Man, the Motown that I picked up in Indy, the Tamla sleeve with the bicycle on it. There's gold records to the left. There's gold records to the right. There's gold records everywhere because this is the place of gold records and record labels that Berry Gordy started with Shop Around, the first million seller that led to Detroit being the biggest seller of 45s in the world. The humble beginnings of the upstairs bedroom and record storage. The huge accolades like gold records. The actual recording studio where all these famous songs were stomped out. Studio A at Motown. What an incredible tour. What an incredible iconography collection and a tribute to one of the best record labels ever in history.
Place to go. I hadn't been back here since I was a kid. I'll tell you what, it brought back some major memories of just the sights and sounds of Motown. So they're building a brand new museum coming 2025. If you guys haven't been out here, definitely check it out. Gotta love Hitsville, you gotta love Motown.
We learned during the tour that not only did Motown crank out the most 45s of any record company in the world by the mid-60s, but it was the most successful African-American owned company in the United States. My hope is someone from Third Man calls up someone from Motown and helps them design the new record shop in the new museum set to open in 2025. Could you imagine a kid coming home with a record that was made in Detroit by a Detroit artist in the Motown Museum? That would be awesome. And hey, if it's Shop Around, you might get some good relationship advice on top of it. So Jack, call up whoever heads up the Motown Museum and buy 24 more of those record-making machines and start cranking out records in a collaborative effort. That would be a great field trip as a kid to come home with a 45 in hand. Sweet. Now, Detroit Bob might be biased, but I'll tell you what, Detroit never looked better. I got back to the hotel and took a quick scan of my goodies and headed up to the rooftop of the Rensen for dinner with my wife. And I'm telling you, this town never looked so good. There's building going on left and right. New apartments, condos, classic old hotel lobbies being revitalized and reused. The Detroit River is pumping commerce up and down, left and right. Our great friends and neighbors across the street in Canada have their own little district and casino. Detroit's got all 4 major sports teams back downtown, so you can go catch a ball game at noon and a football game at 4 o'clock. Pistons down at Little Caesars Arena, sharing it. There's the old Cobo Hall. The new bridge going up spanning Detroit and Canada, the Gordie Howe Bridge. The vinyl lounge on the 71st floor of the Rensen was awesome, so you know I had to end up there. The Rensen was ground central. They used to say that this place was just a waste of taxpayer dollars, but not anymore. There's a Marriott in there. There's a Starbucks in there. We got the head of General Motors occupying the Rensen, and the skyline never looked better or cleaner or safer in years. And these buildings looked twice as good, lit up at night with the modern LED lighting capabilities. Once again, our good friends, the Canadians across the river, are just really part of the Metro Detroit scene. So Windsor's come a long way too, and on my next trip, I'm going to dip my foot over there and look for some Canadian vinyl. As a matter of fact, if it's your first trip to Detroit, I'm going to recommend that you stay at the Rensen. The Marriott was awesome. The 71st floor restaurant was really good, and we were able to get to Third Man Records, Motown, and the Detroit Institute of Arts all within a short Uber ride. The Rensen is looking great, and just for location and view from the 71st floor, it's a great first dip in the pool if you want to check out the Detroit scene. It was really, really a great trip. I got some great vinyl. I got to see Third Man and Motown back to back, which I suggest. Parking was reasonable, and we even stopped at the Detroit Institute of Arts on our way out to the burbs the next day. Definitely a recommendation. We're already planning our next trip back to Detroit and can't wait to dig in even further. But I can't wait to get home and dig into my finds and see what I got at Third Man.
All right, let's take a look at these Third Man pickups that I got. First of all, everything in the store is just really cool. The bags, Cass Corridor, that refers to this section of Detroit that he built the store in. And it used to be a really, quote-unquote, bad neighborhood, but now it's totally safe and cool. So first thing caught my eye was like, well, look at this old Motown. Well, he's reprinted a lot of these old Motown hits. And since Smokey and the Miracles were pretty much the first group signed by Motown, I definitely picked this up. So it's got the traditional Tamla label, but if you notice over here, he still has the Third Man stamp on it. So this is great collaboration. The original sleeve, which you'll see later in this episode, is been brought back almost perfectly. It's like basically a bicycle. It's almost cartoon-like, but you'll notice this sleeve, and I'll mention it coming up. And then we go right on to the stack of stuff. So, you say, wow, $20. Well, this was from the vault, and if you look at it, it's Dead Weather, which is one of Jack White's side groups. And check these guys out. The lead singer in this, she is just fantastic. Allison Mosshart. She's really, really good. She's dynamic. And boy, I really have gotten to like them since I've been familiar. And here's some of the artwork that they have. A lot of the Dead Weather stuff features the lead singer on the cover. I don't know if that's Jack White sneaking his eyeball in there. It may be, but just really, really good artwork on this stuff. And these two were included in vault packages, which means you can't just get them. But being a vault member, they definitely opened up the stack of stuff to me. And then this really caught my eye because Record Your Own Voice. I've heard Jack has this like little, almost like carnival-like recording booth. But what caught my eye was Eddie Vedder. You guys might know him better as the lead singer of Pearl Jam, recorded in Nashville. And if my info is correct, you go into the recording booth and pay your $1 and quarters, and you come out with a recording. The difference with this, it's on vinyl. So they transferred it to the vinyl, which Third Man definitely has the capability of doing. Oh, not only that, clear vinyl. So if you want to start collecting 45s and you want to get in on modern new records, boy, I would recommend not only checking out Third Man, but getting in their vaults, because I got 10% off all of this stuff. Captain Beefheart. Every time you talk about critics, they always talk about Captain Beefheart. And he's bizarre, he's weird, but everybody says he was just like way ahead of his time. This album, Trout Mask Replica, which was for sale on Third Man's site for a while. It may still be, but I've never seen this 45. Why? Because it was part of a vault package, and unless you're a vault member, you're not getting it. So very, very cool. It looks like the original 45 sleeve. I don't know if it's on colored vinyl or not. I wouldn't doubt it, because Jack White doesn't mess around. I'm going to have to open this up and give it justice. Bear with me for a second here. And everything is look at that. Look at that. It's going to be white vinyl. So is that cool or what? That is just, it's like candy, the color, and it just pops. So we'll sleeve that in a minute. And then at the end of the tour, guess what? Everybody walks away with a free 45. And this is back, right? I started the tour by buying a Smokey on this exact same label. So this is the original Tamla label, and it precedes Motown. He wanted to call it Tammy, but that name was already taken, so he called it Tamla. And the Swinging Tigers Snake Walk Part 1 and Part 2 on the B-side, and I got 2 of them. So I'm going to total all these up. I did get a couple decent T-shirts. He's got great merchandise. Greetings from, black and yellow is the color of the store. So this is my second Third Man record shirt, and these are just really, really cool. This tower reminds me of Palmer out in the WLS era or WOC era. Early radio ads had this lightning bolt. Really, really cool stuff there. So how much did I pay? Well, I paid $143, okay? So let's take a look at it. The records were $80. The T-shirts were $35. It's pretty much standard. But look at the discount. So I got a 10% vault discount, which is $15 off. Tax, 6% in Michigan, $143. So we'll subtract out the 2 T-shirts, and then I'll give you a total price on the vinyl. I'm not expecting to make a lot of money off this stuff. This is for collector value. So definitely Cass Corridor. I'm sure Nashville has its own bags. There's no doubt that Jack White has an eye to design and detail. My father went to Wayne University, got his master's in fine arts in Detroit. So he would be very intrigued and interested in this whole ensemble and this theme of decorating by colors. So very cool stuff. Let's break it down and give you a total price. All right, I'm going to show you a very important reason why to enter everything in the Discogs. Here's the 2 copies that I got of the Swinging Tigers for free. And Captain Beefheart, we talked about him. The Dead Weather. Look at this. I thought it was Dead Weather, but it's white stripes on the A side. And then there's that Eddie Vedder. And actually the A side way over there on the Miracles is what I was looking at. I'm going to add up all these median value prices and high value and give you a total. All right, if you add everything up, median value on these records was basically 4 records, but I got the 2 for taking the tour. So I'm not going to add in the cost of the tour, but I paid $80. So median value $125. That's pretty good for over-the-counter retail. But you got to remember, I would have never gotten these records if I wasn't a member of the Vault, and I would have never gotten the discount if I wasn't a member of the Vault. So you got to look for that behind-the-counter stuff. And I always ask, do you have anything exclusive to this store? I've done this with jewelry. I've done this with Levi's out in San Francisco. Tiffany's in New York City, and they'll say, oh yes, this little piece here you can only get in this store. So look around for the exclusives, and that's what we did here. Let's see what the high value is. Take a look at that for the high value, $242.17. Perfect condition, perfect day. But I listed all these in my collection at mint, and so I don't think they haven't been shipped, and I haven't fingerprinted it or played any of them. So not bad for a $80 investment. All right, as you can see here, I've added these 2 Discogs, and these are everything we picked up at Third Man Records. Snake Walk Part 1, and I got 2 copies of that, so they're in there. There's the Pashuko Cadaver by Captain Beefheart. You can see 2018 Third Man Records number 559. Open up, backed with Rough Detectives Dead Weather. 2013 Third Man Records number 243. And this is why you enter stuff, because I didn't even notice the white stripes is the A side on what I thought was just Hang You from the Heavens by Dead Man, or the Dead Weather. So you pick up these great bargains. Once you enter them into Discogs, you actually see stuff
that you didn't realize. So Out of Sand, that's definitely in the running for Gem of the Week. A real fine pickup. The key was I walked through being in the vault. You see the Miracles finishing it out. And I definitely went to the front desk and got some really, really good stuff. So you click on one of these, for example, the White Stripes, hardest button, the button. Here's the artwork on it. Nothing fancy, but it's definitely colorful, and it's that third man. The biggest thing about this record, look at the median value. Sales history, $28.47. The cheapest one for sale is $25 right now. And here's both of these videos you can play out of Discogs. Notes, here it is, manufactured in Nashville, it says. Comes with sticker bearing Third Man Records, Tesla Tower logo, listed on Third Man Records website as Beck, Josh Homme, and Mark Lanigan. Those are probably the producers. Listed on the catalog as something different. So make sure you go into the notes section here. As you see, IDs are going to tell you what's in the run out. Jack White always likes to have cool things etched in there. So these little sentences like Psycho Disco Killer just makes it more collectible and more cool. Totally Jack White's style. You can hit this little button that says details. Really cool. It tells you who's on the record, written by Jack White. There it is. Programmed by Beck. So he brought in a guest programmer. It's probably a cool version. Once again, details under Dead Weather. There you go. There's that Alison Mossart. She's the lead singer and apparently the writer on this. So definitely, well, she's not the lead singer. Mark Lanigan is. But she's really, I think, the key to that band, and really very visually compelling front person. But the Eddie Vedder, look at that. Totally cool packaging. You know, it's got a sort of it's a clear vinyl. It's got a sort of a record booth quality to it. Single-sided, sales history 3813. There's only one, there's 8 for sale, one from $30 up. And then you go into your copies and you can see, okay, here, I'm listing it as mint and sleeve condition mint, and I bought it at Third Man Records. You can see where I listed that under the notes right there. It says I have one in my collection. I can add another copy. I can remove it. I can go into edit and add more notes or take more notes out or change the condition if something happens. But I don't think I'll ever play this thing. It's just totally cool as a collectible. So that's why you enter your stuff in there. We talked about value, but there's a utility to having your stuff. Oh yeah, there's a Charlie Rich album that I found the other day. So yeah, I get albums too, but that's why we do Discogs, and that's why we add that stuff in there. And I hope you guys do that too. All right, just some more details of the artwork. Here's the Dead Weather A and B side, and then you can see the colored vinyl. Very cool, very neat. Typical White Stripes A side here, Dead Weather on the B side of that one, and then the yellow and black. All right, here it is, the gem of the week. It's Eddie Vedder Out of Sand. And yes, it's in that clear vinyl. So you look at this really cool packaging, Third Man Records, and this was part of a vault package, if not just the release itself as part of that month's vault. And the vault is a special club you can belong to at Third Man. This is 7-inch vinyl, single-sided, limited, and clear vinyl, like I said, in the U.S. Came out in 2016. Genre is folk, world, and country, which is interesting because Eddie Vedder is the lead singer of Pearl Jam. It's Third Man number 389, and if you look at it, it was definitely a big seller. A lot of people have it, 2,382. I think there's 247 that want it, and that makes a median value of $3.18, a high value of $69. So those Pearl Jam fans are big record collectors, and I really think I did well value-wise. I got 10% off. I think I got it for $18, median value. This is one that you're probably just going to keep and play. And remember, it was recorded on one of those record your own voice booths, and I think it's in Nashville. So I'm hooked on this Third Man stuff. If it wasn't for Third Man, I don't know if I would have been collecting again, because they were the first record club, quote unquote, I'd stumbled upon. So the packaging is cool, the reverse. I'm just going to enjoy this record for a long, long time. Of course, it's all got the white, yellow, and black of Third Man Records. But how cool is that? A great piece of Americana, a great piece of the Seattle grunge movement, a great piece of Detroit, a great piece of Nashville, and of course, Third Man Records with Jack White. Cheers. Till next time. We're going to do a big unboxing, so make sure you subscribe. I got a Third Man package, and it may contain Elvis, so you're going to want to see that. Cheers.